It's the podcast built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. It's the podcast, we're back for more. The podcast, where we settle the score. Season 3 is now upon us. Forget the others, get on our bus. Week to week, there could be discussed. Hoping our squads are not a bust. The rhythm, the rhyme are here each week, bringing you the news along with a beat. We don't like dreaming about getting paid. We focus on the podcast and the rhymes we made. The episodes are tests to see if we got pull. Stating facts, bringing a mouthful. A shout out to Eric B for keeping us fresh in what separates us from the rest. Now it's time to make our impression felt. Sit back, relax, strap on your seatbelt. You never been on a ride like this before. With the captain the deal, picking the scores. We start to think, and then we sink into the paper like we were ink. Writing lyrics, his and mine. The product is in our rhyme. We know very well who we are. Can't hold us down, reaching for the stars. We have a goal, stay out of the way. Be gold in the booth are now in play. It's the podcast, built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. It's a podcast, we're back for more. The podcast, where we settle the score. It's the podcast, built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. It's a podcast, we're back for more. The podcast, where we settle the score. One more verse to go. On and on with the show, the real deal. We'll challenge the flow while we gold is bringing the know. Captain Booth is always on point. His jams will rock this joint. His creativity is second to none. The style, the flair, he's having some fun. Then there's the gun behind the scenes, doing the edits, keeping it clean. This team, they won't be beat, bringing the fun facts to the street. Poems and briefings on any week. Another way to bring the speak. Vikings and Hawks are who we like. At the end of each show, we drop the mic. The podcast, built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. It's a podcast, we're back for more. The podcast, where we settle the score. It's the podcast, built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. It's a podcast, we're back for more. The podcast, where we settle the score. Be gold, I'm out.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Damen und Herren, it's time for the podcast featuring Captain Vuk and Billy Gold, aka The Real Deal. This is the only place that's talking Hawks and Kings, but to be specific, we're talking Seattle Seahawks and Minnesota Vikings. So strap up. We're taking you on a fantastic voyage, unlike any you've ever been on, so sit back and get ready to set sail to the emerald-rich lands of the Seattle Seahawks and the treasure-filled valleys of the Minnesota Vikings with your hosts, Captain Vuk and Billy Gold, aka The Real Deal. Let's get it.
All right, football fans, 12s, and not the Texas A&M 12s and
real ones.
and the Scolders. Welcome to Season 3. We're at Episode 6 of the Captain and the Real Deal podcast. I'm Billy Gold, along with Captain Vuk and our production engineer, Mike Top Gun Cruz. As always, another great episode in store for you today. Get your solo cup out, fill it up, sit on back, relax, and get ready to take on another fantastic voyage. Mr. Cap, are you ready to roll?
Captain.
What's happening, people? This is your boy, Captain Vuk, back in the building, ready to go. Had the bye week, but the Vikings did it, so let's find out what happened. It's October, so were there tricks or were there treats?
All right, good. You guys got to rest up early in the season. You're a little banged up, so it's actually probably a pretty good time for your tackles maybe to heal up, see where you can get some of those offensive linemen back in the rotation.
Yep, I generally don't like early buys, but this time it was
this year,
timely.
I think it works out
It
right.
was timely.
All right, Vikings recap. Let's get that background music rolling. First half, the Vikings, they set the tone early in a bad way. Turning the ball over on another fumble on the first play from scrimmage as tight end Josh Oliver fumbled the ball after a 20-yard gain. I'm going 20 yards on the first play. Oh, fumbled.
Painful.
Chiefs took the ball, got in the end zone on a 1-yard TD run after the drive and took a 7-0 lead 5 minutes into the game. Vikings responded on their next possession as Greg the Lake Joseph connected on a 40-yard field goal to make it 7-3. And then early in the second quarter, the Chiefs got a field goal from 38 yards, and they got their 7-point margin back 10-3. The Vikings tacked on another field goal midway through the second quarter, a 29-yard from Joseph, actually shorter than an extra point, to cut the lead to 10-6 with about 8 minutes left before halftime. After a 3-and-out from the Chiefs, the Vikings sparked themselves with a fake punt to keep the drive going. That fake punt was pretty good.
It was good.
To Ty Chandler got the first down. That led to the Vikings' first touchdown in the afternoon as Cousins found the rookie sensation Jordan Addison from 4 yards out for a score. Greg Joseph's extra point gave the Vikings a 13-10 lead just before halftime. As per usual, last year and this year, these teams come back with little time left on the clock before halftime, and the Chiefs got a 40-yard field goal to tie the game at the half, 13-13. Let's get right to the second half. Kansas City got the ball started, and they took the lead back on an 8-yard touchdown pass from Mahomes, the rookie Rashad Rice, and they were up 20-13, less than 5 minutes into the third quarter. After a 3-and-out from the Minnesota offense. By the way, we'll talk about the 3-and-outs about the Minnesota offense later. In a good way, by the way. Kansas City scored again as Mahomes found Travis Kelce. And by the way, Mrs. Swift did not show up for the game. She bypassed the game.
Do we know why?
I have not got that information yet. Anyways, 4-yard score, 27-13 Chiefs. And the Vikings were quickly behind the 8-ball. The proverbial 8-ball. They cut into the deficit on their next possession as they marched the ball down the field and got a big fourth down conversion from Cousins to, again, the rookie Addison, who's going to have to step up in the next 4 weeks. We'll talk about that later as well.
Yep.
To set up a first and goal. And Madison, guy on your fantasy team, finished the drive, screen pass from Cousins, took it to the end zone for a 9-yard score. That made it 27-20 with plenty of time left in the game. Minnesota's defense, they got the stop they needed, and the Vikings then got themselves down the field with no timeouts remaining. They eventually found themselves with a 4th and 12 from the Kansas City 24-yard line, and Cousins threw a pass to Addison that was initially called pass interference. But the flag was mysteriously picked up, and it was a turnover on downs. I'm not going to go get the refs on this.
What are you going to do? Nothing?
No, that's what the call they want to make. I hope it balances out in the future. The Vikings did get the ball back one more time. But Justin Jefferson was on the sideline with a hamstring injury. They got the ball back on their own 19 with 1:07 remaining. And they got all the way down to the Kansas City 38 with 5 seconds remaining. And Cousins got sacked to end the football game. You know, the Vikings played well. They showed some heart. They didn't give up. They fall to 1-4 in the season. And we'll see where we go from here. But I got some final thoughts. My final thoughts is Mr. Alexander Madison, his hands are our problem. Madison, supposed to be a guy with hands that are, excellent, but they've been touch and go. He has a fumbling problem. Beginning of the season.
Who's worse, him or Dalvin?
Well, Dalvin he barely plays for the Jets. But that's not the only thing he does.
Turnovers. I mean, what is
Madison's been dropping passes. It was a drop pass that proved to be one of the biggest plays that bred the Vikings from at least earning a chance at overtime against the Chiefs to tie the score. On 2nd and 7 at the Kansas City 19-yard line with 5 minutes left in the game, the Vikings ran a beautiful screen. But Madison watched the ball hit his hands and then hit the ground for an incomplete pass. It was a play that was a surefire touchdown. And it would have sent the game into overtime, or at least had a chance to get us in overtime because the score would have been 27-27. Instead, we gave up the ball on downs, which was a nail in the coffin. We had 7 dropped passes in the game, including Mr. KJ Osborne. So, game balls, none. None.
I hear you.
Good effort. Too many mistakes. Mistake out of the box. 7 drop passes. We are what our record says we are. We're 1-4. That's what I say for the Vikings recap. Cap, any comments before we're going to move past your recap? You don't have one this week.
I don't have a recap. I just want to reflect on your game a little bit. If you count all those dropped passes, they're almost like turnovers. And then you add that to putting the ball on the ground. Last year, I haven't done any math on how many turnovers you all had last year compared to today. But
we lead the league this year. So.
It's got to be almost a record situation.
We lead the league.
So what do you do to address dropping the ball?
I thought I addressed that on the last thing.
Remember Tiki Barber back in the day where they had him bring it up so high that it became a habit for him and then his fumbles decreased?
No, I don't want to hear that. Cut him.
That's another option.
Trade him.
That is another option. What is going to happen with you guys?
Cut him.
Say see you later, alligator?
You know what? You can't do the job. We got to move on from you.
I was going to go back to an old school show named Beretta.
Yeah, if you can't do the job, we got to move on.
Don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
Exactly. So, we'll see. I got some more to talk about when we get to the preview of the upcoming game against the Bears. So, and some stuff in the middle here. So we'll pound on them a little more. But let's move to the new segment by the numbers. This week we got number 28. So the Vikings that have worn number 28, Dick Haley, Tom Hall, Earl Denny, Ted Provost. Don't know any of those dudes. I'll skip this guy. Ted Rosennagel, Ezell Jenkins, James Stewart, Anthony Phillips, Robert Tate. I know me some Robert Tate.
Okay.
All right, but nothing big there. Larry Ned, Laren Collishaw, Rashad Baker, and then the final 2.
I hope I know one of these names.
Ahmad Rashad.
Absolutely. Representing Mount Tahoma High School in the city of Destiny, by the way.
Do you remember his real name?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what is it?
It's Bobby Moore.
There you go. That boy. Good trivia question.
That counts, Top Gun. If he hits me up, that counts.
That's a good one.
Question.
And the other one that might give Ahmad Rashad a little battle for the number 28.
Who is it?
Mr. Adrian Peterson.
AP. Oh, I know who I think I'd have to go with.
All right, so of all the numbers in the Minnesota Vikings, the segment, few has had little doubt surrounding who wins number 28.
Yeah.
It belongs. He might be the best and most dynamic player for Vikings history. Though some would argue, for his position, though some would argue for Chuck Farmer, but it's Adrian Peterson.
Got to be AP.
They didn't need to draft Adrian Peterson with the 7th pick in the 2007 draft. They had Chester Taylor was the 1,200-yard rusher the year before. They got him anyway. And he's a generational talent. He won NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2007. 7 Pro Bowls. 3 rushing titles. He led the NFL with 18 rushing touchdowns in 2009. He suffered an awful knee injury they said most people couldn't return from.
Yep.
And he returned better than ever because he almost beat Eric Dickerson's single-season rushing record. I think he fell 9 yards short. So here's the thing about that. He could have got that record, but they didn't. I think Childress was the coach then, and he didn't give him the ball with like 2 minutes left in the game. No one knows why. So He owns every significant rushing record in the Vikings history, and it's going to be a long time before a Minnesota running back threatens any of those marks.
Is Madison done? Let's be honest. Is he done after this year? Are you guys going to clean the running back room out?
We'll see. Cam Akers, we'll see what Cam Akers does. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, he might be a keeper.
We do need to give an honorable mention to a guy that will be inducted into the Minnesota Vikings Ring of Honor this year, and that's wide receiver Ahmad Rashad.
There you go.
4th overall pick by the Cardinals. Played only 2 seasons for them. Then he played a year with Buffalo before he missed an entire season. And then he signed with the Vikings. 4-time Pro Bowler with the Vikings. Named one of the 50 greatest Vikings of all time. He also had 2 unique plays in his career. As a rookie with the Cardinals, he set the record for the longest play from scrimmage that didn't score a touchdown. With the Cardinals at their own 1-yard line, he caught a pass that went 98 yards from Jim Hart.
What happened?
So he made it to the other 1-yard line.
Oh, my God.
So that's a record that's never been beaten. And, of course, most fans know him from his other famous catch. I attended the recent event for the Miracle at the Met.
Break it down.
That was a play where the ball was tipped, and the last play of the game, it got us into the playoffs, and he made a spectacular catch in the right side of the end zone. Ahmad Rashad, honorable mention, but
Baller.
You're not beating AP.
He competed, though. He was right there. He was right there.
No, he's not right there. He's not right. He's not a generational talent.
He's a baller, though.
He's a baller.
Yeah, AP was something different, honestly.
Let's get to the Seahawks and representing the old 2-8 from the 12.
All right, here we go. Starting off with our guy, Ugo Amadi. He's not with us anymore, but he's not getting it. Harold Blackman, he was a memorable guy, but he's not there long enough. He's out. Lyle Blackwood out. Michael Boulware. Now, that dude used to lay the wood.
I know that name, yeah.
His brother Peter played linebacker or D-end for the Ravens.
Was Boulware a safety?
Our guy was, Michael Boulware is a safety. Marcus Burley, he was on there. We have Justin Coleman, Travis Fisher, Dow Innocent. I don't ever recall hearing that name, but hats off to him, whoever he is. Kerry Joseph, Kai Blue Kelly. You remember that name from the summer's acquisition from the old Ravens and the little twisteroo you were saying? We got him kind of under some bizarre circumstances. But anyway, Del Spear, CJ Spiller, Walter Thurmond, and Kurt with a C, Warner.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Kurt Warner is not in the Hall of Fame at this particular time. However, he played in 100 games and started 94 of them. He had 1,698 rushing attempts. Very durable. 6,844 yards. Career was kind of cut short because of a brutal knee injury. Averaged 4 yards per attempt. Got to the house 56 times for the Seahawks B Gold. Got to give it to the old Seahawks.
I'll give it to him. He was a good player. He's not a Hall of Fame player.
Well, his stats were a little short.
If he didn't get hurt, yeah.
Exactly. But he is in the Seattle Seahawks Ring of Honor, so hats off to Kurt Warner. Yeah. With a C, not a K.
You know what a Ring of Honor is? Because we do it too. A Ring of Honor is just to get some people there to come celebrate.
No, showing love to your Warriors.
No.
Odin would be proud of all of those folks in your stadium.
Okay.
I would think. Maybe he wouldn't.
Yeah, they're not getting any mead.
Hey, real quick before we transition, I want to give even though we didn't play this week, I want to give a quick tip of the cap.
Yep.
From the cap to the New York Jets. So remember they played the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos last year had their coach named Nathaniel Hackett. Hackett gets booted. They throw him out the door. He goes over to the Jets. Sean Payton comes in, basically says something to the effect of worst coaching job in history or something crazy like that.
Yeah, he's awful.
The Jets rallied around Mr. Hackett, and they put a dub on not just the Broncos, but Mr. Sean Payton as well. And then did you see how that game ended?
I did not, but I mean,
check it out.
Who would want to watch that game?
You would have loved this. Oh, I know. I just saw the highlight.
Who would want to watch that game?
You would have loved this, though. Russell Wilson's got the ball with the chance for the Broncos.
I did see that. Yeah, I did. And the coach killed him.
He rolled out of bounds. Yeah. He fumbles it right in front of Sean Payton.
Yeah, Sean Payton was mad.
He was livid.
Yeah, livid. Sean Payton was, exactly. I saw Sean was killing him all game.
Yeah,
so here's what I will say.
What you got?
That coach is awful.
Which one? You talking about Sean Payton?
Nathaniel.
Oh, Nathaniel.
He's awful.
Why is he awful?
He's awful. He couldn't succeed as a head coach at all. Is
he succeeding right now a little bit?
No.
He's not. It's just all defense.
No, it's the players. The coaches.
Where are they getting their marching orders from?
not. They're just doing it on talent.
See, you didn't watch Hard Knocks.
They're doing it on
You did
talent.
not watch Hard Knocks.
At that
You gotta
level,
check it out.
at that level, you've been coached up enough.
You got to watch
do
Hard
your
Knocks.
thing.
Not the kid, though, the QB.
Do your thing.
He needs a different level of coaching. He needed mentoring, too.
who?
He still
Who's
needs
the
it.
QB? Zach Wilson?
He still needs mentoring.
Zach Wilson will be out of the league in about 6 months.
We'll see. We'll see.
He's
But
awful.
he's got some grit he's showing. He didn't show that last year.
He played the Broncos.
Last year, he showed how to push people under the bus. And he got checked for that. But anyway, it was the Broncos. We'll
It
see what
was the
happens.
Broncos.
But
Yeah, exactly.
hats off to the Jets for showing some grit.
And by the way, out of all this, the most genius move of all was the Seahawks getting rid of Russell Stink Wilson. He's awful.
That's the first time you added that to his nickname.
Oh, he's awful.
Wow, he's
Well, how
not
about
looking
no?
good, is
I got
he?
it. It's RWW. Russell Washed Up Wilson. He's awful. RWW.
There's nothing we need to do about it.
Yeah, no, you
know?
cash your chips in. You cash your chips in. By the way, your team was so fed up with him anyway. The only person that was babying him was Pete Carroll. Your team couldn't stand him.
Hey, he's gone.
They couldn't stand. Yeah, he's gone. All right, we won't go there because we had a private conversation on that. We'll stay out of it. We'll stay
It's
out
all
of it.
good. He's
We'll stay out.
gone.
He's
But
awful.
listen,
Russell Washed Up Wilson. RWW.
there's a forgetting about the Broncos right now. There's a Jets fan that we all know, and he's dealing with some things right now. So shout out to you, bro. We got you back. But his name that we like to give the moniker is Gang Green's Finest.
Oh,
so
okay.
he might start getting some references on here if the Jets can keep balling, and if they don't. Trust me, you better watch out because the real deal will come after you. Like,
So here's
like
what
if he came after
I'll give
my
you a
guy
little advice.
Socrates.
I'll give you a little advice. You shouldn't have signed Dalvin Cook.
And it's-
$11 million, $7 million, whatever. We
Yeah.
cut him.
And it was Gang Green's Greatest is the name, the
Nah.
moniker. That's my bad.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I'm gonna
good.
throw
Yeah,
that
let's
in
get
there.
him out there.
Thanks for that. That's that screeching hawk, Top Gun. I appreciate it, bro.
All right, let's get us segue us into some fun facts. I only got one fun fact and one not so fun fact. So the one fun fact, I was searching this week because we lost.
I know you're gonna dig this.
There's something positive. Something positive. Fun fact number one. Give me that again.
I know you're gonna
Let's
dig
hear
this.
The Vikings had only 1 3-and-out on Sunday.
That's it.
1 3-and-out, and just 5 total in the last 4 games.
I'm proud of you guys. I really am.
How much last year did I say 3-and-out, 3-and-out, 3-and-out?
That's good.
All right, let's get to a not so fun fact. The Carolina Panthers currently have the worst record in the NFL, which positions them for the first pick in next year's draft. But they no longer own the rights for that pick. The Bears now own it. They flipped their number 1 overall pick to the Panthers, who were scheduled to pick at 9 last year. And they got wide receiver DJ Moore, the number 9 pick.
He balled out.
Right.
Ooh.
A second-round pick this year, a 2024 first-round pick, and a second-round pick in 2025. The Bears, mauled the Panthers.
They did.
The Bears are poised to be the number 1 pick. By the way, if the draft started today, and this is where my angle is headed,
Let's hear it.
the Vikings would be picking 4th. 4th.
Really?
4th. That's great.
That is great on the trajectory you guys are on right now, especially with the injuries.
All I'm saying is, let's not rush anybody back.
Take your time.
There's a lot. Let's get some young guys in there.
Three
Get-
different positions clear you before you come
Get
back.
some young guys in there. Get some playing time. Let's set ourselves up for one of these good or great potential quarterbacks coming out of the draft.
There are some good ones
You know
coming
what?
out.
There's sometimes you got to do it. This is the time. This is the year. I need one before I go. I plan on sticking around and aggravating people for a long time, but I got to get one.
Get a man one, y'all.
Got to
Come
get
on.
one. All right.
Not this year, though.
No, it's not this year. So, ridiculous start and comment of the week. We don't have one. Taken to the house. Cap's team didn't play. My team didn't win. So, let's get to breaking news this week. The Vikings are placing Justin Jefferson, a.k.a. the best wide receiver in the NFL, on the injured reserve list. He's not the most polished.
There we go. There we go. I didn't even have to say anything. I was getting ready to, though.
He's not the most polished.
I say your guy's the most
No,
dynamic.
that would be Devontae Adams, but yeah, which means he's going to miss at least the next 4 games.
It's October, but is he really a member of the Addams family?
Who's that?
Devontae.
Devontae Adams. Well, we'll go October.
What's going on?
We'll have
man?
to figure out
How's
where
his
he's at.
brother doing?
His brother?
Yeah, doesn't he have a younger brother in the league?
Is it Jamal?
No. But that's
Got
good.
you,
I like
got
that. They might
you.
be first cousins. though.
Got you.
They might be cousins.
All right, no real deal rant of the week. No outside the box with the real deal. All right, let's move on to the team trivia segment. Cap, I'll go first.
Let's do it.
You got 4 choices. What year did the Seattle Seahawks officially join the NFL? Was it 1979, 1972, 1976, or 1967?
1976.
1976. Ding, 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 ding,
Okay.
ding. I don't got one of those sounds.
I don't have it this week either. We got to be old school with it.
All right. Number 2, who is the all-time leading rusher for the Seattle Seahawks? Was it the person who you said has a chance to get in the Hall of Fame, Kurt Warner, Marshawn the Beast Lynch, Chris Warren, or Sean Alexander? Who is the all-time leading rusher for the Seattle Seahawks?
Wow. I'm tempted to say Chris Warren, but I got to go with Sean Alexander.
Ding, ding, ding!
Okay.
Sean Alexander. All right.
Wow.
All right. And here's one.
Oh, we're getting, how many am I getting? Let's go.
3.
Let's
This
go.
is only the third one.
Oh, I thought the other one counted. That's extra credit, though.
What extra credit? I only did 2.
No, the one you asked me earlier.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't part of this segment. That was Ahmad Rashad. He's a Viking. That's not a Seahawk
You're a
question.
fantastic teacher. Nobody's pulling nothing over that man's eyes.
This is my favorite one of all.
All right, let's do it.
Which player wore the jersey number 12 before the Seahawks retired it? Not before Texas A&M retired it, but before the Seahawks retired it.
I understand very clearly, Your Honor.
Was it
Let's get it.
Glenn Foley, Ken Walter, Gino Torretta, or Sam Atkins?
Whew. Oh, wow, that's very interesting. I'm going to go with the OG of the group and hope that I'm right. And hopefully they didn't let the other guys even wear the number. But I'm going to go with Sam Atkins.
It's the winner right
Is it
there,
all
Sam
right?
Atkins.
Golly,
Yes.
That was tricky right there.
That's a tricky one. That was a hardball one of the other
was good.
of the one. No, I
that was
thought
good.
the leading rusher you would have. All right, cool. So what say you for trivia for Minnesota?
All right, let's start with, because I know you love numbers. Let's start with this one. Robert Smith opened the 1997 season with a 169-yard rushing performance. Which opposing team was his destruction victim that particular day? Here are your 4 options: the Detroit Lions, New Orleans Saints, the Green Bay Packers, the Buffalo Bills.
What year was this?
1997.
19. So they were all. So it depends. What was the fourth one? The Bills.
The 4th team was the Bills. The first, Detroit Lions, New Orleans Saints, Green Bay Packers, and Buffalo Bills.
Not really a numbers question, but based on how often we would play the Bills, I probably would move the Bills off the list. So we have Packers, Bears, and
Saints.
Saints. We've always seemed to have some history with the Saints. But you know what? I think I'm going to stay within the division. I will say it was the Bears are always pretty good defense. I'm going to say it's the Packers.
You were right. Buffalo Bills.
Was it the Bills?
You took him out of the equation.
I took them out.
He later, though, rushed for 160 yards against the Colts and 132 against the Packers during the 97 campaign. So he came out the gun hot.
Good run. Actually, above average running back.
All right, let's get you another question, and I'll try to end on this other one. All right, who was the Vikings' first opponent in the playoffs after the 1995 season?
Am I getting 4 choices?
This is a hint. They didn't make the playoffs that year. I didn't know if you knew that or not. That's
No,
why.
I mean,
Okay.
you're supposed to give me 4
I
choices.
know, but there was no choices here. So
Well, then you should have made up 4 teams,
I
or
was
3. Actually, you should have said they didn't make the playoffs, or
Let's-
3 teams.
let's do this. Let's throw that
Come
baby
on
out.
now.
Let's throw that baby out.
When you made it multiple choice, you give me no
I did.
choices.
I did. That's on me. That's out of the question. All right, let's start here. The Vikings' first pick in the 1996 draft. No, they didn't give me the options there either. What the heck is this?
Just make up names.
Here we go. In 1994, which team beat the Vikings at the Metrodome in the first round of the NFC playoffs? And they actually have options here.
94.
Washington Redskins, Chicago Bears, New York Giants, Atlanta Falcons.
94.
1994. Which
It wasn't
team?
the Falcons because that was 98. So what are my other choices?
Washington Redskins, Chicago Bears, and New York Giants. 1994. They beat you guys in the Metrodome.
I'm going to take the Redskins.
Bah. Chicago Bears.
All right.
I don't know if that rings a bell.
Oh,
or
that
not.
was Jim McMahon probably.
Oh, of course, 84.
It was Jim McMahon.
Yeah, no question about it. They're no joke.
Should have known that one.
Hey, things happen. Let me see if I can get you one more.
Yeah, give me a layup, will you?
That's what I was trying to do. All right,
What do you mean lying to do? You give me 4 teams, 1 game in the middle of the season. Tell me who wore number 11 and was a former first-round draft choice of the Minnesota Vikings.
All right,
Hey, wait, right here.
here's one.
Culpepper.
Yeah, Dante.
You know why I'm wearing this jersey today?
Why?
It's the last quarterback we drafted that was any good.
Are you serious? So after him, nobody?
Everybody else comes from somewhere else.
All right. Do you? I don't know. This is a hard ball or softball for you. Let me.
Just give it to me. Let's get out of this segment.
All right. After losing, in which season did the Vikings win their first playoff game? 2004, 1969, 1996, 1955.
Well, 1955, they weren't in a league. 1969.
Maybe that's why it's in red on
69.
this screen. 69. Ding, 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 ding. Well done.
Actually,
well
I think they
done.
went to the Super Bowl that year.
Good job. You fought your way through there.
That was the Chiefs Super Bowl year, I believe. All right, let's get to the Vikings Week 6 preview and the Seahawks Week 6 preview. Vikings are traveling to the Windy City to take on the Bears. The Bears and the Vikings have been rivals for a very long time. In fact, the first game in Vikings history back on September 17, 1961 was against the Bears, and Minnesota won 37-13. In total, the two teams have played 124 times, including 1 playoff game. And the Bears, they won that one on New Year's Day in 1995. Despite that loss, Cap,
What up?
the Vikings lead the all-time series with 65 wins compared to 57 for the Bears. The two teams have also tied twice. The Vikings always struggle in the Windy City. So this will be a close game. It could go either way. I'll get to that during the picks. Hey, Cap, what say you for your preview for the Seahawks in Week 6?
Well, first of all, we're playing the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals have not looked themselves, or I should say Joe Burrow hasn't looked like himself for the first 3 or 4 games of the season.
He did last week.
He sure did. He showed up, and so that's a situation we're going to have to deal with now. They have Mr. Higgins on, not IR, but he's been held back because of a rib injury.
Who?
T. Higgins.
Does he even catch any balls?
Oh, yeah. He's their big guy threat. And so you saw Jamar Chase kind of go off, and then the defense feeds off the offense. So, we're coming off of a bye week.
You're
Healing
healthy.
up, trying to get some people back.
Yep.
But it's going to be a very serious challenge for us. But the
On
good
the
thing
road.
about it, it's on the road. We have a lot of rest, and we have a lot of people that are back that weren't there earlier in the season. This might be the first time, if we can get past the 9th play, that Jamal Adams and Devon Witherspoon are able to play together for a little bit.
Jamal Adams going to play?
Yeah, he should be. Well, I haven't heard if he's cleared protocol. They said he was trending towards it, so we'll find out.
So was it a concussion or was it something
It was
else?
concussion.
Oh, okay.
And then he wrote a pretty awesome
He got
apology letter.
bam-bammed?
He just bam-bammed himself. But he wrote an awesome apology letter to the physician that was on scene.
I thought to the team for not fulfilling up to his expectations
It's
of his
early.
contract.
He's still good.
Good.
We still have his
I signed
back.
him. He was great.
We still have his back. Yeah, he is. He was about to be great that day. He'll be right back.
Okay.
But anyway, I just have 3 of the Caps' car keys to the game, and here's the first one. Our defense has to crank up the pass pressure against these guys like they did against the Giants. They have to harass and keep Mr. Burrow uncomfortable and test and see if his calf is really healthy. He can't sit in the pocket and dissect us. That is a recipe for disaster for our team, and it's been that way since Pete Carroll's been there, really. That's why he probably goes into PTSD if he can't get pressure on a quarterback. So that's one key. Key number 2, our offense has to run the ball with our thunder and lightning combination. If you don't know what I'm talking about Kenneth Walker III and Kevin Charbonneau. They are effectively lightning and thunder, respectively. We get that ball rolling, establish that run with that 1-2 whack 'em and stack 'em punch. We're going to be okay because it will help us set up everything else in our offense, including tight ends getting work, split ends getting work, slots getting work. We need it to happen, and it starts up front, and it has to go down. Third key to the game. And again, this is a bit risky, but we need it because, you know, some people call him Jamal Glass. I don't call him that. You call him Mr. No Good ROI, no return on the investment. But I think if we can let him and Devon Witherbloom explode and wreak havoc on that offense, we'll be setting ourselves up for success. We'll get hurried balls coming out of Joe Burrow's hand. We'll have more opportunities for picks. You can see the AWACS out there, which is Mr. Quandre Diggs. I'll define that later. I won't define it today. And again, Jamal's nickname with the Emerald Justice League is the Emerald X-File. He needs to be that for 4 quarters. We need that. So if we can knock out those 3 keys to the game, we'll get a road win. If we don't, we will take a road loss with rug burn and be hurt. And we're going to find out together.
All right. Glad to hear your thoughts.
I'm sure you are. You're always happy to hear my thoughts.
Seahawks, big challenge this week. They could be up to it. We'll find out.
We will.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to the picks and what we say coming on up.
Let's do this.
Yo, it's time for the picks, the weekly predictions by them guys. Get your notebooks out because they rarely miss. Make way for Captain Book when he makes his picks. You can't touch this dude. Reppin' Hawks in the Emerald Nation. All units, battle stations. So welcome to the battle zone. It's a place where Captain Book is never alone. With his guy, be gold by his side. Sporting purple, always ready to ride. A real Viking maniac. Never afraid to go on the attack. And when needed and comes the real deal, he's got a real feel for NFL skills. So listen close and get the word. Don't be the one who hadn't heard about Captain Book and Blue Gold. Dropping knowledge, truth be told. Pluto picks, battle tested.
All right. I'm about to drop some knowledge.
Let's get it. Pay attention, everybody. Class is in session.
Let's get back to what happened last week. Week 4, Cap.
Gosh.
You had 5 wins and 9 losses.
I had a horrible week. Horrible.
I had 10 wins and 4 losses. So I've went from tied. I took the lead by 5 games. I'm 51 and 26. You're 46 and 31. We're still well above 500. But I put some
distance.
Between,
I was feeling it. I had to text you and say, this is not looking good. You're like, well, you got one more chance tonight on Monday Night Partner, but it ain't going to happen for you.
It's gonna happen.
And then the Packers dropped it on me.
I took that as well. All right, let's get to the Thursday night game. Broncos going out to Kansas City.
I can't wait to hear what you got to say about this
I got the Chiefs crushing the Broncos. Russell Wilson will throw 4 picks. The final score will be 84-6.
Oh, God.
Mark it down.
That is too funny. That's too funny. Thursday night football. The Chiefs force another painful week for Denver fans as they break the Broncos 42-24.
All right. I think I got a better chance with my score.
We're going to find out. I can't wait.
1 o'clock games on Sunday. Ravens across the pond.
Tottenham again. Hotspurs.
Yeah, the Titans. I got the Ravens winning across the pond because there's really no home team here. 23-20.
Yeah, the Ravens frustrated me last week, but Tennessee made me proud a little bit. I'm going with the home team and the King Henry. That's a fitting title for him being in England. Titans reign and own the throne 30-21. They beat the Ravens.
Okay. Let's get to the Commanders going out to see the Falcons. I'm going to stick with the home team. Falcons prevail 23-21.
Falcons repel the Commanders at home 24-20.
All right. 23. What do you got?
24-20.
24-20.
Falcons claws up.
Yep.
And
all right. Vikings go to the Windy City. I'm going to let the Vikings win here 24-20, but I wouldn't be against a loss. I gotta get me a QB in the draft. But
every win murks the
as
waters,
far as I want to expand my lead on you, I'm going to take the Vikings.
Well, I'm doing it too. Vikings get back on track even without JJ and get after the Bears. It's an Addison coming out party. I think they can show the league why they drafted that young man. And Vikings win 31-21.
31-21. All right. Seahawks go out to Cincinnati. What's that? The woo-yay? What are they? Yay-hoo? What are they? Woo-ha? When you do it all with the
Who-day.
Who-day. All right.
Yeah,
Who-day.
who-day are the Saints.
Yeah, who? All right. So, but I knew there was something.
Yeah, they got the icky shuffle going on out there. All that stuff.
The bank. You know what? I know how to do the icky shuffle.
You got a demo for the show.
I got.
You got to break it down for the show.
Hey,
and wear that half shirt that you got.
I'll wear the half shirt.
Show the six pack.
I will, and I'll go.
Let them know.
I'll go 44, ladies. That's me. And then I'll do the icky shuffle.
Do it right now.
We will get a video. We'll get a video of me in the half shirt doing the icky shuffle
In the grocery store.
In the grocery store at the deli counter.
Let's do it.
At the deli counter. It's a road trip.
Let's go.
Because I'll do it.
There's no question about it.
All right, the Bengals looked really good last week, and it appears that Mr. Burrow's getting healthy. Bengals are home. I'm rooting for your team, but I think they go down 27-20.
Yeah, if we didn't have this week of rest, I might be thinking a little bit differently. But I'm saying the Seahawks go on the road against a hot Cincinnati team who just welcomed back the real Joe Burrow and get a hard-fought win by beating Joe Cool. Hawks win 34-17.
A hard-fought win, 34-17 on hard-fought. They double the score.
17 points coming in the second
If you had said
half.
34-33, I might have believed you. 34-7, hard-fought win. Oh, my goodness.
You have to fight hard to blow people out.
So what I will say is...
Come on.
Hard-fought win. Oh, this is awesome. This is awesome. This is... By the way, was this one of the games that
when are we going to have the love boat segment?
In your 17 love zone, love zone. There's 17-0 picks.
Initially, I picked that game as a loss, but the Bengals haven't looked right yet all the way. So
all right, 49ers at the Cleveland Browns.
Oh yeah, what's up with the Bay Area?
So Cleveland Browns. Well, I'm told that Deshaun Watson is scared to play this week. He has a shoulder injury. He has a shoulder injury.
And it's not healing fast enough.
He's throwing the ball in the dirt, so he doesn't have to play this week.
Who's up next?
The guy played last week, Dorian Bethel Thompson. And he's a rookie. Anyway, I think the 49ers might score more points than the Chiefs. So I had that 84-6. I got 85-13. 85-13.
Listen, regarding the 49ers, either get out of their way or become part of the highway. They're going to pave over the Browns and make them a part of their smooth and so far uncontested road. Niners win, dominate 45-24.
24. Okay, Saints go marching into the Houston and take on the Texans. But you know what? I like the Texans at home. Texans got some talent. I got Texans at home 27-23.
I'm going opposite here. I think the Saints stay hot and stack a second road performance in a row and beat the Texans 37-10.
My goodness.
Listen, I got to go hard or go home, and I'm close to going home so far. It's only week 6.
Man, I'm going to be up by 13 games this week.
You might be. That'll make the dramatic finish even more exciting.
Yeah. As we have to call up the dogs.
Or the dramatic blowout.
We got to call up the dogs.
Yeah.
If I get like softball, after I'm up by 15 wins, could we just call it off?
No, then you can just have all kinds of fun.
All right. Colts, go take the trip to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. The Jaguars corral the Colts 24-16.
Yeah, the Jags look to make a statement here, trying to win their third game in a row. And they're going to knock the Colts out of town, 28-17.
28-17. Panthers, go see the Dolphins. Swim into Miami. Dolphins crushed the Panthers, 31-13.
Yeah, Miami keeps their fans happy, and they put on another NASCAR race on grass. Zooming right past the Panthers, 44-12.
44-12. Lions, go down to Tampa Bay, try and warm up.
Baker Mayfield's out there.
Lions are going to win on the road, 27-23.
Yeah, Lions take their Angry Claws on the road to storm the Bucs pirate ship by surprise. Lions rack them up. 27-3.
27-3. The Buccaneers at home scored 3 points. Oh, my goodness. There's going to be so many fans mad at you next week. All right, the Patriots visit the Raiders.
There you go.
And you know that's a shout out to Chris Berman. He used to always do the Raiders.
Shout out to Chris Berman for sure.
That's the first 4 o'clock game. Chris Berman back in the day was always
Making it fun.
yeah, making it fun. Now they're just propping him up. It ain't no fun anymore.
He's a big fella too. You know that?
He's a big fella.
Big fella.
Yeah, I don't want him falling on me.
No, I don't want him to fall down at all.
Well, he's old enough. He's falling down, dude.
Stay up, Chris.
Raiders give the Pats another loss, 20-17.
Yeah, the Raiders forced the Boston media to pit Belichick against the quarterback. Who stays, who goes after they lose to the Raiders 28-10.
10.
Yeah, they're taking the L.
All right. Cap's going to have a lot of trouble picking this next game because they're both in his division, and he always calls it the NFC best. So it's the Cardinals at the Rams. Every time there's a game with anybody in his division, the team in his division wins. So he's probably going to call this a tie, but I'm going to go with the Rams winning at home 30-20.
This is a perfect lead-in for me. I appreciate that. In the Gladiator division, actually the Gladiator Conference, Rams eke out Cards at home 27-24. Thanks, B. Gold.
24. Philly Eagles take on the Jets. Eagles are going to ground the Jets easily. 27-17.
Eagles take their first loss here
Wow.
to an unprecedented, unpredictable, actually, Jet squad as their defense soars at home. Jets are going to squeak the win out 24-13. I'm sorry.
24-13. Squeak it out 24-13.
Yeah, you know
it's
how them
not
points come in
24 to
at the
23 and a half.
They'll make
it's
a mad dash at the end.
24-13.
They'll get a little insurance
Just squeak it
at the
out.
end of the game.
All right, gosh, I hope you pick the Giants next to him. Giants travel to Buffalo. The Bills slay the Giants 34-16.
Yeah, the Bills try to keep that momentum. And you better put your seatbelt on for this game if you're a Giants fan, because it's going to get really bumpy. Buffalo Bills win 34-14.
34-14. All right, I had 34-16. You had 34-14. We're right. We're locked in on that.
There we go.
All right, Monday night game. Cowboys go out to L.A. The Cowpokes. How'd you do? Hey, wait. How about them Cowboys?
Woo,
How about them Cowboys?
That was beyond just the score looking bad.
How about them? Hey, how about them Cowboys? How about it?
Every level of the game,
Yeah.
including the post-conference comments.
Yes.
I'm not
I
feeling
told you. I told you to fire your coach. You won't listen to me. Hire me. I can do my full-time job and coach them better than Mike McCarthy coaches them. What is going on? Get him, Jerry. Actually, Jerry, give me the team. I got it. I can handle it. I got the resources. That's a great word in our department,
Yeah.
resources. All right.
Cool.
Chargers win at home 27-24.
Yeah, Chargers run up the credit card in this game and hack the Cowboys 30-13.
30-13.
Yeah.
All right, that concludes our our picks for the week. Next, we're going to move on to the survival pool. We're all still alive. You can leave that on, Mike. In the survival pool, I've taken the 49ers and the Lions. Cap's taking the Eagles and the Dolphins. Top Gun's taking the Vikings and the Eagles. Week 3 for our survival pool. We started it late. I'm going to roll with the Dolphins. Cap, what say you?
This is starting to get tricky. I wanted to take the Dolphins this week too, but
You took them last week.
yeah, I can't do it.
No, you'd be eliminated.
I
Go
know.
ahead and say Dolphins. We'll fire you right now.
I'm going to go ahead and take this is risky going against Belichick, but I'm going to take the Raiders.
Raiders, all right.
Yeah.
And Top Gun, you have the Vikings and Eagles so far, so what say you?
Ooh, I like that. Jets.
Jets, you're eliminated,
That's
dude.
gold. That's some courage right there.
Yeah, you're eliminated. All right,
Way to
good.
step up on it, Mike.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to win it this week.
We'll see.
Because there's no way Belichick's going to let the Raiders beat him.
We'll see.
His old coach, Josh McDaniels, coaching them.
We'll see.
All right. That finishes that up. Let's move on to the fantasy football segment.
It's time for fantasy football talk to see which teams can walk the walk. Each week, new matchups take place. All teams gunning for first place. of luck, cause my team's for real. Let's get to the segment, start the chat. Hey, Book, what you say about that?
It's Captain Book, and I'm running on the field like a wild one. Dropping fantasy strategy second to none. I'm casting spells like a mad magician. I make so many damn moves, just like a mathematician. Without my fantasy logic, you'll just be hoping and wishing. And if you don't pay attention, your team will need a mortician. So check out Captain Book and how I laid out my roster. I'm so dialed in, could never be an imposter. With this fantasy ball, this segment's for y'all. So get in the game and join the fantasy brawl. It's Captain Book and be gold, so avoid the wreck. For your fantasy success, put our knowledge on deck. It's the fantasy segment. Get in.
All right, we are in, and you know what? You make so many moves. You ain't making as many moves as I'm making, and I'm 2 and 3. So sometimes the moves don't pay off. So
Got to be careful out there.
I took the real deal. Took a loss to Access Lord, dropped to 2 and 3. We'll talk about what's coming up this weekend. The Naturals, the Mackerels, got back in the win column. Emerald Nation Monsterizers took care of Smells What's Cooking. El Grapador, 5-0.
Got
the
him.
only undefeated team in the league left. Mike Top Gun Cruz is representing. Ohio Bone Crushers in a low-scoring game got by Zeus is Loose. The Italian Stallions, first-year fantasy football player, started 0-3, is shocking the world with 2 wins in a row. And by the way, the game of the week, Connecticut G Hockey snuck by the Enforcers by 2 points. That was the game of the week. So, been where everybody except for Top Gun is pretty bunched up. So, Kat, bring us some news about the standings.
I will do that. And G Hockey had his horse do it. Wasn't it Kittle that took him over the hump?
Yeah.
Well done. So check it out. East. Top Gun has fully established himself as the actual beast in the East right now. He's got the goose egg that hasn't been broken. 5-0 on top. Behind him by 2 games, you got the New Haven Naturals and you got the Connecticut Wagon Circlers. They better start tightening it up because I think Top Gun wants to fly away. Number 4, the real deal is at 2 and 3, tied with the Italian Stallions. I warned everybody a couple weeks ago to look out for the Italian Stallions, so don't sleep on anybody out here. The boardroom, come on, baby boy, you got to step it up. They're 1 and 4, and then the Crimson Knights are 0 and 5, and there's a good chance they're going to be 0 and 6 next week because we lock horns with them.
They're the Carolina Panthers. Hey, by the way, you have the same schedule as the Seahawks have. An easy schedule.
Oh, there we go. There we go. We're going to do that strength later. So check it out. Let's move over to the west side. You got Connecticut G Hockey still on top with 3 and 2. But you got those Ohio Bone Crushers also repping the same record, as well as the Emerald Nation Monster Risers at 3 and 2. Smells What's Cooking at 3 and 2. I got you last week, brother, but I'll see you again. And then Access Lords at 3 and 2. Now, out of those 5 games that are 3 and 2, the Emerald Nation Monster Riders have the lowest percentage chance of making the playoffs.
Yeah.
So we're still climbing uphill.
Yeah,
and
the
then we got
returning champion. So you gotta climb
we're
uphill.
still-
I'm climbing uphill. We're climbing uphill.
Let's do it. That's what we do.
The 2 champions of the league so far.
We don't mind
climbing
getting
uphill.
dirty.
No, we're getting
We
dirty.
don't care. Let's go. You got the Enforcers at number 6 in the West, 2 and 3. And
Good
then
squad,
Zeus is
though.
loose. Yeah, Zeus is loose too at 2 and 3. I think if they tweak their rosters just a tad bit. Now we took a hit. A-Chain got hurt. He's out for a minute, so we got to manage that. But
Mackerels lost Jefferson, so things
They
are
did,
happening. Things
yeah.
are happening. All right, let's get to the games this week. The Real Deal is taking on El Grapador. And by the way, breaking news. El Grapador's consultant is not available this week.
that's all right. He can always
He's
call up somebody in the
he's
Emerald
out
Nation.
of town.
We got him. He can call up somebody in the Emerald Nation. We'll rep him. We got him.
Emerald Nation Monsterizers are taking on similar schedule to the Seahawks. They're playing the 0-5 Crimson Knights.
Taquavius, step your game up.
Axis Lord goes against the Bone Crushers. The Mackerels.
that should
The
be good.
Mackerels take on the Boardroom. I think the Boardroom's going to surprise them.
I think so too this week.
Smells What's Cooking against the Enforcers.
Yeah.
This is a good one in my division. The Wagon Circles take on the Italian Stallions. I'm rooting for the Italian Stallions.
I think Italians, them Stallions, them boys ain't no joke over there,
I'm
man.
rooting back on. I'm rooting back on then.
Yeah.
And then finally, last game is Zeus is Loose versus Connecticut G Hockey, which G Hockey should handle. So we'll see where that goes.
That should be a good one too.
Yes. That takes us to the end. I printed it out twice. That's what's going on. I got to print it out again.
Like, what do I do? Am I seeing double?
So that takes us out of the fantasy football segment. So thanks for checking it out.
It's B Gold, back on the mic, dropping lyrics I know you'll like. The league is now on alert. The real deal is bringing the hurt. New challengers every season. Why worry? There is no reason. Teams might win some games. At the end of the day, I forget their name. A new season and more pretenders. New Haven Naturals is the lead offender. Like all the others who come to town, this dude is just another clown. Over the years, I put to rest any questions that I'm the best.
If you want skills, I'm undeniable. I'm so reliable. My lead is sizable. If you insist on coming at me, not advisable. My potential undefinable. It's unsurvivable. Captain Book, Mr. Reliable and on point. When I lock in my roster, it's the joint for the haters that think they have an edge on the homie. You ain't got nothing, so don't act like you know me. I'm bringing heat to a hot, hot kitchen. And when I drop my roster, it's a natural condition. So make sure you pay attention to how we drop that knowledge. And if you want to win in fantasy, join this college. We're teaching with Foya, Fuego, Fire, Peace.
I gotta say, I miss the tribal scream at the beginning of the first segment. And by the way, we should find a way to add it to both segments because
I'm with it. If we can make it happen.
We gotta get that back in there because
I'm in for it. I like that energy.
While we have the regular thing up there, I'm in the background going,
Yeah, that's just running on the field.
We got to get that
running
back
on the field with no fear, ready to get it in.
Exactly. All right.
Battle cry.
Golders 12s, not the Texas A&M 12s. And all you football fanatics, I'm going to hit that for a couple weeks, Scott, by the way.
Hit it.
Thanks for tuning in to the podcast today. Tell your friends, families, and coworkers about the show. Actually, keep in mind that YouTube is the place to get us.
Check us out.
Subscribe, follow the show, tell everybody about us. Week 6 for the Vikes is a road game against the Bears. And the next episode will be a recap for how our teams did. Cat, as you always do, bring us home.
Thank you, my brother. We're going to go ahead and go home this time with the prime rhyme time again. So let's jump in. With the status of JJ dropping him to AR, this undoubtedly leaves the Vikes with a scar. It also opens the door for the next man up. Who is strong enough to sip from Odin's cup? Time is fleeting and patience wears thin. The Viking situation is clearly a must-win. So it's off to hunt bears in the Windy City. Get the doggone win without pity, and who cares if it's not pretty? Let's slide over. The Hawks had the bye, and now it's time to go. All gas, no brakes, rain, hail, sleet, or snow. Cincinnati Bengals in the Buckeye State. With Joe Burrow back to normal, they believe they are great. The odds makers say my Hawks are expected to lose. They want to shut down our love cruise, but I'll tell you what I choose. I say we emerald up and dismiss the doom and gloom while the offense grounds and pounds and the D lays the boom. You know how we do it. It's Captain Vuk and the Real Deal Podcast bringing that good heat to your NFL week. With Billy Gold, with that Ric Flair, Captain Vuk never in despair. The Real Deal this week fighting the grizzly bear, and our brother Top Gun bringing you the air to air. Until next week, hit follow on the show, and we will see you next week, baby boys and girls.
By the way, I got to tell you a funny story about the Indian food we ate the other day.
Yeah, I'm sad I couldn't make it.
You're going to die. I'll tell you after.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope I don't die before the next show. I'll see y'all. Enjoy.
Thank you, everybody.
Rock and roll.
Peace.